What's up, guys? Welcome to the podcast. I want to let you guys know that the merch is still on sale, but for a limited time. And there's super sick items. Get some Stoke gear. Get fired up. Go to shop.chat. Let me say that again. Go to shop.chat. Dude, go to shop.chadandjt.com. We're also on tour. We got Nashville. Well, we were just in Nashville, but we have Charlotte tonight. And then on top of that, we got Bozeman, but that's sold out. But then we got New York coming up. That's going to be a hot show. Make sure you get on that. Tickets are going fast. And we got Denver and Detroit weekends there. Minneapolis, Varsity Theater. Get on that one. Get your tickets at chadandjt.com. We're also brought to you by the legends at Marine Layer. Guys, Marine Layer is one of my favorite clothing brands. I'm so psyched that they're on board with us because I was digging their gear before they were even a sponsor. And they got the softest t-shirt of all time. So soft, it's absurd. All thanks to San Francisco-based brand Marine Layer. It's a go-to brand for great fitting and stylish closet staples. Their clothes are the perfect mix of laid-back style that also looks and feels premium. For a limited time, get 15% off with the code GOINGDEEP at marinelayer.com. That's code GOINGDEEP15 for 15% off your entire order at marinelayer.com. Let me reemphasize because I think I said going deep the first time. It's going deep 15 at marinelayer.com. Going deep 15. All right, let's start the show.
What's with deep? Going deep. Chad and JT.
Ooh, let's sizzle up the pizza and say hallelujah. What's up, Stokers of Stoke Nation? This is Chad Kroger coming into the Go Deep with Chad JT podcast. I'm here with my compadre, John Thomas. What up?
Boom, clap, Stokers. Praise be to God.
Oh, dude, that's a new one. All right.
Well, yeah, because you said hallelujah.
Yeah, praise the Lord. We're here with Paul Virzi.
What's up, dude?
Dude, thank you for joining.
Dude, thanks for having me.
You religious?
What?
You grok with God?
Yeah, I do.
Good.
I do, man. I definitely, not in like a, it's almost like you know what, it's been an internal thing with me, but now I'm like cool with just being like, hey man, like I believe and I've, things that have, I've asked for and prayed for have been like, it's answered and, and I just feel like, I remember I was on Rogan and he goes, you think someone's looking out for you, huh? And I was like, yeah, I kind of do.
Yeah.
I kind of do. So.
Does he believe in God?
You know what? I didn't get into it, because who knows where that would have got. And that kind of got, like, that we kind of, like, mentioned at the end of,
right,
like, 3 hours. So it didn't really get there. I kind of asked, like, if he was, like, spiritual or stuff, but I didn't get a vibe that, like, there was, like, he didn't jump into it with me, but I definitely believe in a God, yeah.
Nice.
I think in this business, it's helpful to be spiritual.
Yeah.
For me, because it's like there's so much uncertainty, you know, especially when you're starting out.
Mm-hmm.
That I definitely got more kind of. I didn't grow up religious, but I've always had like a spiritual kind of. Like my parents didn't take me to church, but I've always been interested.
Yeah.
And then I think when I got out here, that's when it turned up a little bit more. When I was.
You're kind of wired for it, right?
Yeah. I love it. I love philosophy, all that stuff.
Because you listen to Osteen, too, sometimes.
I listen to Osteen sometimes. He's
Do you?
great, dude.
Yeah?
He's so uplifting. I listened to him, and I was like, because they made a video where our buddy Strider impersonates him.
He looks just like him, so we snuck into one of his
I know
events.
Strider. I did his podcast.
Right.
Oh, hell yeah. Great guy.
The special came out. Yeah.
Yeah. And so we always kind of making fun. Then I listened to one of his things. I was like, I might listen to this every morning. This is
Dude,
great.
I just love that he just like made all the homeless just not even close to letting them in. Yeah. Dude, I love how he was dude, God'll help you, but dude, get off my property.
Yeah. Can you be both things?
Like,
it's tough.
You can be, man. You could be both. You could believe in God, but
Do we
not
have
want
space
people
for him?
Yeah. That's so funny, dude. Yeah.
It was tough for me. I was like, he's probably a bad dude, but then his sermons do rip. So I get how he made all the money to buy the place that homeless people aren't allowed at.
And holding that, like, listen, I do stand up, right? And I've been fortunate enough to be in some thousands of people, hundreds of people, but for like Osteen to just walk around in like these massive arenas and hold that attention and crush like that, really not telling jokes. Like maybe I'm sure he throws one in that he thinks is good, but to like a stand-up level, it's probably like a 5, but he's like in it, man. You gotta. That's a lot to hold that attention, man.
He does start off with, he goes, I like to start off with something funny. And then he goes, the
Is that what he
corniest shit.
says?
Yeah. And then he like has the way he, like the vocal, he's like, literally, last time I listened to him was probably like 6 months ago, but he does like a prayer at the top. And I was listening to him like consistently for like 2 weeks because it just fired me up.
Yeah,
I was like, hell yeah. And then I started driving around and be like, I believe in the word of God. Just like yelling it out. I'm like, hell yeah, I'm going to pray with him.
Well, it is true too. It's like, that makes you unique. Like, it's kind of more popular now to like talk down to religious people.
Yeah.
So being a religious person is almost like punk rock in a way.
It is, yeah.
Because who else is doing it? Who else who's cool is doing it?
Yeah, it went from looking like weird to now it so many people, but I think that's a result of people not believing and mocking. Mm-hmm. You know, and if you look at like the music industry and you look at like Satanism, like it's like that's like a legit, like some of the biggest rappers now are like, they're like straight up out with the Satan.
Is that real?
Yeah, no, they have like, there's clearly like some sort of like, we're going the other way, and then you don't know. But what's weird to me is like when you see the red shit at, can you curse on it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. But like when you see like them wearing red, all of them wearing red at the halftime. Mm-hmm. Like it was one of those things where I was like, I don't want to get crazy into the conspiracy, but then when they kept saying it and they're like, just look. And then I looked and I'm like, all of these huge people at one point of this was like red at the Super Bowl, and they're saying like that's part of this.
You're all the way in then, right? So you think they're trying to spread Satan on us?
I you know what? I can't say that. I don't want to say that for sure because I don't want to be one of these. But when you
there's
hear
stuff
it
to see,
and then you look at, there's definitely stuff to see, and there's points that were made. Mm-hmm. So when I see that, I'm going, oh yeah, like, and they were like, oh, Rihanna's part of the Illuminati, and look at things, and then you're like, no, she's not, and then you watch, and you're kind of like, and then like all the people that they say are associated together are kind of in the same shit, and now I'm going like, I mean, I don't know if I'm just too much time on my hands or my mind just goes, but I'm like, is this like a thing?
Yeah.
Or is this everybody being silly and stupid?
Yeah.
Right?
Well, what do you think of what's his name, Sam Smith?
Yeah.
The Grammys. Do you remember that?
Yeah, like do you remember when he first came out?
Yeah.
When Sam Smith first came out, it was like preppy.
Oh, right.
It was like sweater vest preppy.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's just, fat, chick, fat, short. Like, dude, he's like walking through. He's got like, he has like jean shorts that are like with his bottom of his ass hanging out like his
Bro,
fat chick.
I saw him at a party. We saw him at a party once.
Yeah, we did, yeah.
Dude, he's big. Like he's like lineman big. Like when I saw him, I was like, bro, you could be like a big burly gay run blocker for the Giants, dude. You guys could use him
we
right
needed
now.
him last night.
Yeah.
No, but like
He could be doing pass pro for Danny Dimes. You guys need him out there.
But
He's
how about
big,
this,
dude.
But how about this? He came out, devil horns, holding the, and it's like what is that? Now, are they all mocking? Here's the other thing: are they all mocking that they're?
That's what I think it is. I think it's that people are writing them messages every day, being like, "You're a Satanist. You're going to hell." And there is that thing where, like, when people pick on me for something that I'm not doing, it makes me want to do that.
It makes
thing.
you almost embrace it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you're like, okay, now I'm in.
Well, if I'm getting in trouble for it, then why the fuck not? I'll just be the worst version that you think I am.
Yeah. What's crazy is that the one time, and listen, I've had hate. We've all had hate, right? I'm sure you guys with the stuff you do, you get hate, right?
Yeah.
But, and I've got, luckily 95% of the special was all good. The one time I got the craziest hate was I actually had to shut the thing down for a while or just take the post out, was I made a tweet where I said, most of my atheist friends, this is what the tweet was. I was like, most of my atheist friends are so full of shit because I see you on the airplane in turbulence, do a quick little sign of the cross just in case. Mm-hmm. That was it.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm talking a firestorm of like, Virzi, how dare you? I sat at the foot of my father's bed when he was dying of cancer.
Jesus.
Not once did I pray to an invisible God. You just lost a ticket to your show.
Wow.
I'm going like, and dude, it got to the point, sorry, we don't pray to an invisible Santa in the sky. And I'm just going like this. Then people started to like say stuff about my family in a weird, like,
wow.
and then I was like, and you know something? I took the tweet down and my wife even goes, you shouldn't have. I'm like, and you know what? I shouldn't have. Like, thinking back, I should have just left it there, never looked at comments, let time go by. But it was the most evil, It was the most evil going at me, way more than any bit I've ever done. And I've done bits about, mental health and sensitive stuff, things that people edgy. School shooting. I closed on with a school shooting joke on my Comedy Central thing in 2018. Nothing. And then this was like a simple, you're in turbulence on an airplane, do a quick sign. And people were like, I'm talking thousands and thousands. And it was really like, oh, okay, that's what's going on. Like that this is a real thing that people, so I don't know what the anti-God, thing that's hitting right now is. And that was a little long ago, but now I'm starting to see people starting to come out and go, no, I believe in Jesus and God, I believe.
It's like everyone's in prison or something. At the drop of a hat, they're ready to just throw.
This is the weirdest time. I was talking to I was talking to somebody about this. It might have been Maz Jabrani. Shout out to Maz. We were talking at the Improv out here, and I was going like, this is really the craziest. Remember back in the day, comics would be like, man, shit's crazy, but it wasn't. It was like it's not crazy.
Just a normal summer day.
Shit's crazy.
A plane
out
went
there.
missing in Malaysia. We're like, this is crazy.
Yeah,
dude.
and now it's people are seeing UFOs their commercial flights.
Yeah,
people are aliens are it's okay that they're probably here. People are fighting about all kinds of
Yeah, we got two 90-year-olds competing for president.
Yeah, you go. Well, yeah, the president's dude, think about and this is not even a political. I didn't, like I said in the special, I didn't vote for Trump or Biden, but dude, Joe Biden is legit talking to the president of Greece and just actually closed his eyes and almost started. And the president's just going the other president was going what the fuck? It was almost it was like I was watching a sketch.
Yeah,
it was the president of the United States of America. It's the crazy, And people are all this stuff, man, drag shows and pro. Everyone, I don't even know what to. It's just really wild. Isn't it a wild time?
It's wild. You can get confused. It's scary.
Do you think is there the argument let's say 100 years ago, everyone was pretty religious, right? Everyone had everyone kind of agreed on the one thing that they believed, right?
We had some cultural bedrocks.
Yeah, and so now it's like that Nietzsche thing where he said God is dead. It's now that people disagree on their beliefs and all that kind of stuff. There's do you feel like humans have a need for something to believe in?
Yes,
and now
that's
they have
actually heavy, dude.
Yeah, they have a hole. Some people have a hole.
We have no big truths that the majority of us can agree on.
Yeah,
that's a heavy thing that you said. And I actually, as you were saying it, I'm going, because if you go back even further than that, let's say you go back 200 years, now you're talking everybody kind of had. You don't want to go too far back because then everyone's the earth is flat and shit. So now that's a whole other caveman shit. So now you're all right, is there a middle? Is there a middle ground of intelligence? Is there a sweet spot? But you're right. When everybody because here's the one thing that the church does give, and I know that there can be extremists, and I've seen it on the other side, on the religious side, where they'll want you completely ostracized and put you in some bubble that's not real either, and you're going away. So I know that it's not just the one side, but it's funny how if you look at the basics of church. Right? It's thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal. It's kind of morally kind of saying to be good.
And it's kind of hard to argue with too. Who can argue with the 10 Commandments?
Well, thou shalt not. Okay, don't kill your neighbor, dude.
Yeah.
And it's I could kind of get on board. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
Where it feels like it's so far away from that. I saw something horrible the other day, and I was scrolling through, and I don't mean to be I just saw there was a dude, and I guess he's just walking down the street, and he's got his. And he's just looking around. I guess he was a meter maid or whatever. And this dude just turns the corner, and they just showed surveillance. And the guy just walked up to him, put a gun to his head, point blank, and shot. And I just saw this dude's body just collapse. Yeah. And then luckily in the comment, it said, one of the women said in the comment, miraculously the guy lived. And I don't know how it would be possible. Dude, from what I saw, I saw a man get a gun to the head, go down, and the dude lived, which is incredible.
Paul, I got news for you.
What?
He's dead.
All right, well, come on, man.
Is
it just a? Yeah, I was hoping.
Nice comment.
I was just hoping. Yeah, I just read the comment.
Did you write the comment?
No. Everybody, it's fine. This was a prank. This was not.
Paul.
They made it look really grimy, but dude, trust me.
Yeah.
No, but and you see things like that, and you're just man, something's missing, something's lost. So whether that's God to people, but when you hear people go, man, when you lose that, look what happens, and then something is happening. I'm like, why wouldn't I jump on board and just be yeah, man, maybe something's needed, right? And Maybe that's the hole that needs to be filled is with God. And I never would have said that on a podcast before. So you opened up and you asked me how I feel, and I'm just looking at all this craziness happening, and I'm going like, maybe what you just said hits home, dude.
Well, I think there's like, I feel like there's eternal truths, in like every religion. There's commonalities, in philosophies and religion, and it's like, but then, religions, they've been tainted by like human corruption and greed, like the church. Like that's a human construct. And so humans kind of ruined it. Well, with like, Catholic Church or whatever with.
Yeah, they fucked up.
Yeah, they fucked up. But, but then, so now I think people like associate that with the religion,
Right.
And so I think that's what kind of like turned people off. But I think I feel like there's kind of what you're saying, there's a return to like, oh no, there's like some like deep truths that we need to hold on to.
And I feel like with like the priests and stuff, it's like pastors should just be able to have like pastors that my family go to have a wife and kids and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the popular thing, I grew up Catholic, and the story you learn when you're like around 18, you start hearing about the downside of the church is that they used to be able to get married, and then the church was like running at a deficit financially, and they wanted to collect all the inheritance, so they made it illegal.
Is that right?
That's what my fellow Catholics who look into stuff told me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so basically, like, I don't know what year it was. It might have been even like 1200 or something, like not as far back as you would think. The Pope was like, hey, we need this cash. They got to stop getting married. And then so they just got a huge windfall.
Wow. And
then they stuck with it.
Yeah, and what sucks is when people use that to do evil. Like, it's just like, it's like, I'm like you. It's like, can you find like the middleman? That's the problem. There's no middleman in anything.
Yeah.
You can't talk about like, Maz and I were talking, and Maz is somebody that like he's openly like leans left, and I'm kind of in the middle of everything. I take every side. Financially, fiscally, I lean a little right.
Yeah,
right.
Sure.
But other than that, social issues, I'm totally down to debate. But like, he's somebody that I could sit, have a beer, and it's all good. That's not the case in the country. You can't sit with somebody, because now it's like,
at least not online. I feel like person to person is still
I mean, yes, I think definitely person to person it's better. But like when you do stand up in New York City now, man, it's one of the worst. And I'll say this, and I hate to say it because it's where I got my bones. It's where I learned everything. And when it's great, it's the greatest stand up city in the world. But dude, you go on stage now and you say something. I'll tell you what, I thought it was much better at the Hollywood Improv, where, a couple people make faces, and as great as New York, listen, 90% of New York is great, but you'll get tables that are like looking to see if other people are laughing and they're upset, and you're going like, what? We're in this to like, because the city is so. The city is, well, first of all, the city is very left. Upstate New York, not so much. But it's like, you're on a team, dude. Mm-hmm. And if you're not on team left or right, people are like, what are you doing? Pick one. And it's like, I'm not like that. I'm like, let's have an open discussion about everything.
Yeah.
But people won't.
Yeah.
No, they're not taking it in good faith.
Nobody's taking it like that. They're just like, no, you're nuts. You're the problem. And then other people are like, you're nuts. And then you start doing that. You start, getting personal on people. And then.
I've been doing that.
Yeah?
Oh, dude, I'll get into it with some commenters, and I'll just fight with them for like hours.
Commenters on you?
Yeah, I kind of love it, actually.
Oh, dude, you don't ignore.
No, dude, it's funny, too. One guy was like, hey, why don't you go spend time with your kids? And I was like, I really do. And I tell my girlfriend, I'm like, I'm arguing with commenters. But I kind of have fun with both. Like, I'll be with my kid. I'm like, I love you so much. You cutest boy in the world. I'm like, I think he needs to take a little nap. I'll put him down, and then I'll pick up my phone and be like, shut up, bitch. I'll just go at somebody.
It's hard when it gets, but we were talking about that before on the show. It's like, it's hard when it gets personal. Because when it gets personal, you want to just, but it's really, it's not, like, I'm a couple years away, like, I don't do it anymore, and it's the greatest.
Oh, yeah, I'm not going to do it forever. I'm just going to do it for, like, a couple more months, but I do get a big charge out of it, and I do feel, like, kind of righteous in it, where I'm like, it's kind of like, to me, people are like, don't be immature. I'm like, someone is talking shit to me.
Yeah.
If you're in real life, and someone said those things to you, you would say something back, and you would owe it to yourself to say something back. So if someone goes in, I'm just like, I try not to escalate it, but I try to always meet them exactly where they're at so they get a taste of what they're dishing.
Dude, I actually, as much as I don't want to do it, dude, I respect it. Dude, you got heart, but you can't fight the world, dude. Like, you'll be up there all
Bro,
night.
I think I can, dude.
I'll
I'm
take-
putting it out there right now. Keep coming. I'll keep coming back.
Yeah, I remember one time I got hammered, and I just went to every negative one, and it was all night. It was all night, and I was just like, I just kept going.
But do
hard.
you remember that as a fun night or as a bad night?
I had a lot of angst, dude. I mean, I'm fighting people and I'm saying things and you don't know. And then one guy was like, why would you even respond to me? And then I feel like an asshole. I'm like, fuck, he gets
But the
it.
low self-esteem of that person to say, why would you even respond to me? Like, how does that person think about themselves?
Right. No, I mean, you ever hear that Sarah Silverman thing where Sarah Silverman, a guy was like, you liberal, see where all, like, and she just looked at his page. And she just goes, hey, man, I could tell you're hurting, dude, if you want to get a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
And he was just like, yeah, things are bad. And she's like, it'll be okay. And like, she completely diffused it and flipped it. Because that's really
With
what
love.
it is. Because you can't be, dude, I look at your guys' show. I look at what you guys do. If you can't be mad, are you like nuts? You know what I mean? It's like, do you know what? There's so many other fights to take. It's like if you're gonna do that to like laid back, chill people, or even like, you see me and some people are like, oh, first of all, people don't think of me as a rude New Yorker, but like, a guy with like energy and a New York energy and an attitude a little bit. But like the joke is we're just telling jokes to have fun and be funny and enjoy it. So if you're gonna really take the time out, it's kind of like at the end of the day, they know it's a little sad. They have to.
I remember the one time I talked shit, like this is like 10 years ago, talked shit to a celebrity on Instagram. It was James Franco.
You talk shit to him?
Oh yeah, he blocked me. And it's something where he had like an art gallery open. I'm like, you artsy bitch. But I was like,
domination, dude.
But you're just fucking with him.
I would just go back to that feeling of like, man, it'd be so funny if James Franco saw this. Like, there's something.
He did, dude. He blocked you.
He blocked me. Yeah, it's like, it wasn't personal because I liked him. I was like, This Is the End just came out. I was like, yeah, he's wearing cardigans. He's cool. And then I was like, yeah, it'd be funny if I just like, I was like 22. I was like, if I just said something.
Almost like talking shit to one of your friends.
Exactly. Yeah, it wasn't like personal. I was just like, it'd be funny just to talk shit to him because he's like a celebrity.
That's great.
And then they blocked me. And I haven't.
You think it was him or his people?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Yeah, like maybe he's got someone who just filters all. I think it was Franco.
But it might have been him, especially if like since the fallout that he's had, right?
Yeah.
He's had a falling out the last few years.
Yeah.
That was a complicated one for me because I had seen him talk about some of that stuff and I feel really bad about it before he got in trouble.
Yeah.
Never mind. I feel like I'm stepping into something I need to. This is all getting edited.
No, but it does suck when like But here's the deal. Can we say this? I probably shouldn't say this.
Yeah, we
being
can
in
always
this
cut
business.
it. Yeah, go baby, go.
But like his friends that kind of like abandoned him, like those guys were like his boys,
Yeah.
and it's like, would you like? I mean, I get it, but
Yeah.
like, do you just go cold on somebody because of the business, or do you think they call up? Right? Do you think somebody calls up and goes, "Hey, dude, look, with everything going on in the business, I can't really be, but I love you. Like, let's hang." Or do you think it's just like, no, piece of shit, like, and then just like out? Because I gotta be honest with you, with the exception of like something really horrible. Like obviously sexual assault, all that stuff. But like if I had a friend that made a mistake and got like I couldn't just be like, yeah, dude, I can't fuck with you. Don't call me anymore. I couldn't unless the crime was like really something that was brutal.
No, dude, I think about that stuff with like people. Yeah, like there's a part of me that's like, oh, I would turn my back on somebody for that.
All right, let's give examples.
But I don't like that part of myself. Like I would rather be the kind of person who's like, fuck the public. Even a sinner deserves love. You're my brother. I'm here to help you get better, not to judge you for what you've done. But it is tough.
And it's like, no, but some of the people like, look, the Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah, monster.
The monster shit.
I break them up into monster, pervert, and creep. Those are my 3 categories.
Yeah, and sometimes, yeah, exactly. And I think the monster is just like, Yeah, dude, like that Kevin Spacey thing is ridiculous. Those guys gotta go. You gotta go down for that. You touch a kid, you go down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You raping women, dude. You go down.
Dude, you sound so badass right now.
What?
I feel like I'm in like the movie Gone Baby Gone or something.
Yeah,
Like,
oh,
you
yeah.
touch a woman, you go down.
You touch a kid, you die.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Well, so on the good side, who's like the most moral person you've ever known?
I would say my stepfather is a moral man. I would say in this business, I would have to say Bill Burr, who's been like an older brother and mentor to me. I would say Bill is incredibly moral. Giannis Pappas is a friend of mine, and he's a real, just a good dude. So yeah, I mean, I would say, and I'm proud to say this, the people that I surround myself with. Because I'm a very small circle guy. I'm friends with everybody and I'm good to everybody.
But who's really in there?
But like
is
the
only
people
a
that
few.
the people that are like come to my house on Christmas, or that I would want around my family, and like it's a small circle. But those dudes that I just mentioned, I know those dudes are gonna do the right thing. I know those dudes know what's right and wrong. I know that they have a code of like what it really should be in life, and that's really who I make my company really.
Like an awesome stepdad to me is like the most beautiful thing in the world.
Yeah, well,
'Cause-
yeah. No, that's a touchy thing with me because
I'm sorry.
No, in a good way. I love talking about this shit because it's nice to be on a podcast where you're not like fucking worst gig. Fuck, where'd you bombed? It's like, yeah, we've been. They walked. Did you get booed? It's like, yeah, nobody wants to. But no, like, yeah, my parents got a brutal divorce when I was 5, and my older brother Christian was 10. Brutal divorce, handled wrong, put in the middle, just really horrible. The worst way, moving a lot, really traumatizing shit that happened that caused me to have, OCD and anxiety, all kinds of stuff that a little kid shouldn't go through, right? Stepfather was there, and the cool thing is, even though my stepfather and I didn't gel, because we were different, it was just like do the right thing.
He was solid.
It was always do the right thing. And when my mom got stage 4 cancer, there for her. Like the whole fucking, you know what I mean? And, so my mom got stage 4 cancer, late 90s. I was a senior in high school. Surgery, cancer-free. Then it came back, surgery, cancer-free. But you can't keep having surgery on your stomach right after a while. Then it started to develop all over her liver, all over. Stepfather found, I was like early 2000s, found the Dana-Farber Institute in Boston. They came up with a test drug 2 months before my mother's last relapse. My mother was on her way out, stage 4. She's alive today because of a test drug. My stepfather was doing the research. My stepfather was looking for places. My stepfather stood by. Very religious, okay? But very moral, very do the right thing, hard worker, UPS driver for 20-something years, just doing the right thing. So even though we didn't always agree, on things in life, we had different philosophies on things, solid, like you said, good dude, and there. And when you see that, like, that was a good, like, example of, like, okay, you know what? That's a dude that gets up every morning, works, stayed with his wife through hard shit, did all that. You got to respect that.
Where'd he learn it from?
That's a great question, man. Like, I don't, he was just in my life. I was young. My parents separated. They were, he's a little younger than my mom. But yeah, dude, he just was like a good dude. And I don't know, maybe religion. He's very much a Christian. So I think that probably reading the Bible and stuff like that probably was why but he's very much, like that,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's inspiring.
So yeah, man, when you meet somebody that's just like wants to do the right thing, but then you got and especially this business, then you got people that will like make up stories. And they'll make up lies, and they'll go on podcasts, and they'll take somebody else's story, and then they'll do this. And it's like what you said, anything, because in their mind, it's like, I'm going to get in show business and do any fucking thing I can to be here. And no matter what, that's fine. But once I get there and I got the money, and then that's still not going to make them feel good.
Yeah.
But to them, it's like they don't even, like, people that do that, they almost like don't even feel. See, you guys, you guys are like moral good dudes. So like when something like that happens, you're going to be like, could you ever, like, imagine there was 2 guys that did your show and you guys just stole it and did it and like started to grow on it, knowing deep down inside that you stole 2 dudes' personas. No, you'd deny it, right? You would say like, nah, but it's different. But knowing that you guys actually talked about it, said, let's do that. I know, like, good people wouldn't feel good with that.
Yeah.
Good people wouldn't.
Destroyed by that. You
Yeah,
know?
and I've talked to people. I was at a party at the Stand. Do you know the Stand Comedy Club?
Yeah, of course, it's beautiful.
So, yeah.
Sorry, I got choked up
So
there.
we were there, and we were talking outside, and you know, a comic who's in the news recently.
Yeah, Hassan Minaj.
For making something up.
Yeah, I
And
was just talking about that today.
I was talking to this comic, and this comic goes, "Yeah, dude, I'm a liar. I would have done it too." And I swear to God, and it just goes,
That's very charming, though.
Just goes like this. Goes, "Oh no, dude, I would." And then when I got caught, I would be like, "No, I'm a liar."
Yeah.
I trust that guy,
like
though.
they were like, and you know something? It was actually a woman, and she goes, "Oh yeah, I'm a fucking lie. I lied about the whole thing. Like,
Dude,
I gotta
that's
get, dude. I
hilarious.
don't care what I have.
Yeah.
No she goes, I have no dignity.
Yeah.
She goes, I don't give a fuck. Yeah, because don't you know me? I'm a liar.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, you know, I could at least, even though it's not me, I could respect it.
Because they're being
it's like,
straight up
because
about
you're
it.
just like, that's who you are. So I respect the honesty, but I don't respect the action. So it's like, for me, I couldn't feel good. But that's also my OCD. It's also any kind of insecurity that I have. That would, dude, you guys don't understand. If you knew me, you would know, like, ask Bill, ask Giannis, those guys, like, that would haunt me. That would haunt me.
Well, no, but I get it, because the worst thing is to be found out to be a fraud, like to get called out for that.
To just be known as like to a lie, and especially if you benefited from it. You know, like you benefit from something, whether financially, whether just in your career, you get to like this point, and this is a name I can't mention. I'll tell you guys off. But there's somebody that I know, like, tells stories that go viral, and they're just not true, or they're someone else's, and there's just no conscience. And you know, and people start selling tickets, and it's like, for me, it's like I can't, you know. And then part of me is like, I don't want to hate on it because I don't want to seem like a hater. But then I'm like, no, but you're just not doing it right, dude.
But you, I agree with you 100%. But you do embellish a little bit in your bits, right?
Oh, listen, I mean, yeah, but every joke that I'm not even talking about that. Like, of course, every comedian is gonna be an exaggerated version,
Yeah.
or something like that. No, of
Gonna
course.
make things happen on a shorter timeline, or gonna like
Sure, no, I'm not talking about
merge people into one person, stuff like that.
that. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, like, you know, people, you know, saying shit like some crazy event that happened that they were, you know,
Right.
and it's just a lie, or like, you know, you clearly know. Like, imagine somebody was like, yeah, dude, I was at a school shooting, dude, and like we all were,
Yeah.
and I fucking dove on the teacher, you know, and I took 2 in the back. The teacher's alive. Everybody saved 3 little kids. I was throwing students out the window to save, you know,
Yeah.
and then they're like,
a good bit.
And, and the shit's viral.
Yeah.
I couldn't. There are some people that can live with that. I couldn't.
No.
You know what I
That'd
mean?
be
Like,
brutal.
yeah, like that. It'd be brutal to like even know that, like, and then people are gonna ask you about it.
Yeah.
You know, like, yo, Chad, did you fucking jumped in front of the, and you just gotta be like, yeah.
I'm a hero. Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone who's bad at making up stuff is like, dude, I was one of the terrorists on 9/11, and I survived.
I jumped right out.
I was just because I jumped out last second.
Last second,
If you
this
see
life's
me,
not
that's
for
not
me.
a jumper.
Yeah.
That was,
Yeah.
you know.
I parachuted down. I looked at my brothers that I've been with for months in Al Qaeda, and I was like, you know what, bro, this ain't it. And I jumped out the plane.
This ain't it.
This ain't it, man.
Yeah, no, it's but it's like you said, man. I think, but the same things attract in this business too.
Yeah.
So, like you two are similar. Like, you know, like you'll see somebody at a party, and you kind of, once you've talked to everybody, you kind of notice how you migrate to the people that you
Yeah.
vibe with.
Yeah.
And then you'll end up and then you start to realize that there are similarities. Like, oh, that's why we're friends.
Right.
And those are the people you end up, you know, becoming boys with.
Do you think like for you or like people like Bill, I think like for like Bill, it's like, has he always been that way, or is it because he had such a tough road, kind of, you know?
Well, it's funny because we always talk, and like he said to me recently, he's like, man, he's like, Virzi, we have like such parallel, like we, you know, both started out in like black rooms in New York, urban rooms, because that's where you get stage time, and it was sink or swim and do that. And just when you hear things about people's upbringing, you're like, oh man, that was kind of similar. But yeah, like I think the reason why, I mean, Bill's 10 and a half years older than me, but we always kind of had very similar type of, like, when we talked, it was just a vibe.
Right.
And yeah, and always like doing the right thing. Like, he's as good of a human being. He's a great comic. He's one of the best comics, but he's a better human being.
Yeah.
And that was always the case. There was never, and you could just tell somebody that's going to do the right, like, you know, when you know somebody that's just never going to fuck you.
Yeah.
oh, this person's just never gonna fuck you over, man. They're never gonna betray you. They're just, you just know.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's one of those things. And then
Yeah.
there are people where you're like, just let's hold it a little closer to the vest.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I grew up kind of consequence free too, so I kind of felt like nobody would ever fuck me. And it's only recently that I've gotten more wary of the world.
Is that because of like, do you feel like that's because of like recent success? Or do you feel like, you know, because things like that will change. Like, well, one thing that you'll know will change is that like when you start to do things that people admire, then you'll start to feel something else. Unfortunately, I feel like, or you'll be able to talk to somebody and know, not even full resentment, but you're like, oh, there's something there.
Yeah, I'm not even sure what it is. I don't know if it's just a product of getting older, you know? And
Yeah.
the world,
How old are you?
35.
Okay.
I'll be
You too?
36 in January.
32.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe getting older makes you like a little more wise to how people are like acting around you.
Yeah, and it could be now that I have kids, I'm like, well, I need to be a little skeptical of the world to keep them safe, I guess.
Well, that for me, that did everything. Like, you know, I had an issue in my family, and when my kids were born, I addressed it with the other people because I saw it. I was like, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, because it's like if it happens to you, whatever, you'll bounce back. But you're like, I'm trying to protect something here.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like family is, you know, I'm not trying to be that guy, but for me, it's like family is that, like, it's like this is what we do. It's not who we are. You know what I mean? This is what we do. You know, but people, you got to separate that. And I think that also goes back to the narcissism. Like, to the narcissist, it's like everything to them. They have to, because it's like, but that's empty. You know, where you going back to a one bed, you know, like, what are you doing? You're going back to a studio in New York, you're running around doing spots, and you're doing everything you can to get, and there's nothing to go home to. Like that, to me, I would rather jump out of a building and do that.
Yeah.
That's just me, because it's like I got a house in the country, I got a wife, I got 2 beautiful kids. Like, I like hanging with my kids and vibing with my family is like, that's all I want to do. But I'm out here kind of doing that. You know, this trip, I'm out here in Los Angeles for LA and San Diego for 13 days.
Yeah, but you get to experience it for a while, but you know you got something to go back to.
Right. And and I'm doing this for them. You know, we're I got shows coming
There's
up. I want to
purpose
sell
to it.
tickets. Yeah, I'm gonna, you know, I want to vibe with great, like, you know, people and network with good people, and so then the next time you come out, right, or like, you know, you guys come to New York, you jump on the Virzi Effect or whatever, like shit like that, and
I said, yeah, please. Keep going.
Yes, anytime, dude. Anytime, man. You guys got to come to the stand to get on stage and shit.
I'd love to. Yeah, we're gonna be out there for
In November.
We're doing
7th.
New York Comedy Festival.
Oh, yeah,
at
I'm
the
doing-
Bell House.
Oh, okay. I'm doing. I just got added to a show there. Mike Young is doing a show on November 8th at the.
Oh, cool.
The Ned or some shit. I don't know.
Nice.
One of those. Yeah, one of those cool things. So
I
you
love
guys
New
do.
York, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's fun, but yeah.
But
no,
I'm sorry,
it's
you were
about-
cooking
it's just
about,
all,
like-
it's just all about the family. It's all about the family, man. You know?
Were you? Have you always been? How long you been with your lady? Were you single for a while? Did you try that?
No,
like,
I was young. No, I was like, I moved to Queens and I was doing stand up. I was knocking doors, phone, cable, internet, knocking doors. And she moved to Jersey City. And we knew each other from our high school. She went to the rival high school. Matter of fact, I dated in high school her best friend from junior high. And then they went to, and I would always hear about this girl. But then I started dating the manager at an Applebee's when I was a busboy, and it happened to be her best friend from her high school.
Yeah.
So she just kept popping up. And then I lived in the Queens, she lived in Jersey City. Tried dating her for a while, and then that's how. So I know, I've been like dating her seriously from probably like 24.
Wow.
Yeah, so I've been with her. Yeah, we've been together like 20 years, and we've been married for 15.
And so it took a while to get her to.
It was funny. Yeah, it took like 5 months, and right when I was done with it, I'm like, dude, what the fuck? You know, I remember I went to that. Remember that was a bad movie, Head of State.
Yeah,
with
the
Chris Rock and Bernie Mac were the president.
Yeah.
I went that weekend with my brother, and I go, you know what, dude? If she doesn't get back to me this week, I'm just done.
Yeah.
And then that weekend, like walking to the movie, she texted, "Miss you,"
Yeah.
and that's when I started to change. That's when it turned. But yeah, it's a funny question. Yeah, I was just like, you know, trying to make out with her, like when we go out for drinks and shit, and she would just be like, like kiss, and then that would be it. And then, did you want to hear a good one? This is a great one.
Go.
This is great. We're at dinner, and we're on one of our dates, and we're like starting, and I'm like, I want this girl to be like, you know, and we're having like a nice dinner, we're drinking, and we're having a good time, and she just gets a phone call. I swear to God, and she goes at dinner, she goes, hello, what? Right? Oh my God. Goes outside. I see her through the window. She's just crying. She comes back. She goes, my dad just had a heart attack. And I was just like, yeah, dude, I don't think you should be alone tonight. I'm like, dude, you need. And then talk about not being a scumbag. No, and but yeah, he was fine. He had like a minor heart attack.
Sure.
And stuff. But and then but like I said, after 5 months of her kind of giving.
But
me
was that all scuzzbaggy, or was that also like, let me be a hero for her tonight? Let me be that solid
like
rock
it was
in your
going
life.
so well, and we're having such a good time, and I wanted to keep it going, and like he survived it. He has recently passed, rest his soul, but that was like early on, and but like I said, after like 5 months of trying, and her kind of being like, no, you don't have to drive me home, no, you don't have. Then I realized she just wanted to be, and then when I was done, if I flipped it, so
Wow.
and she's like the only girl that I ever like kind of, because otherwise I'd be like, all right, never mind.
Yeah.
Dude, I have like a funny kind of parallel experience, not with like my partner now, but I had a crush on this girl when we were in high school and we were sophomores, and the Passion of the Christ came out.
Oh yeah, I lived in Manhattan then.
And we were just friends, but we went and saw the movie, and she's terrified. You know, there's all this violence, and Jesus is just getting his ass kicked, and she just starts crying, and I just pulled the middle thing up,
No.
and I just put my arm around her and cuddled her, and she like cried in my arms, and dude, I was so bricked up for the rest of the movie. It's like just holding this sobbing Christian, and I'm just like, I'm helping, and my boner was like tearing through my jeans.
Dude, I got a good rager story. I went into this Asian masseuse, dude, and it wasn't one of those joints. And dude, they were like, just get down to your whatever, dude. I had an embarrassing rager that just everybody saw, and it was too late to, I can't duck out. It was just, and like, I don't know what's happening. And I just like rolled over. I was like, yeah, I'm sorry. Like, I don't know.
You flipped over?
And I flipped over. I had a rager. I just like, I'm sorry. And she was just like massaging my feet, like looked away. It was brutal. But what are you going to do?
No, I think apology is the whole nine.
I love the term bricked up is so great.
Yeah, dude, I was hard as a rock during Passion of Christ, but like trying to be a decent guy and just be like, it's okay. He lives eternally in heaven.
During
He's
the
still
worst
looking out
scene
for us.
ever of like,
No, he's getting like lacerated and tied up and just all sorts of whooped, and I was like, I'd never been so happy in my life. Just
I like to when you say like, yeah, dude, you shouldn't be alone tonight.
yeah, I did. I was like, you know what, man, maybe I should, take you back or whatever. And she was just like, oh, no, I'm okay. But yeah, that one was like, but then sometimes I wonder, I'm like, what if I said to her, I was like, should I have like went back? Like, you didn't give it to me. Like, I'm not talking sexually. Like, you didn't like want a relationship she's like, that should make you want it, that should make it even better. But in my mind, I'm like, I know I was a nice guy,
Right.
I'm like, what? Because that was really not the case before. Like, if ever I would like put an effort in, not that I was like the man, but I did well.
Sure.
And,
well, I think when you are doing well, it's the one that takes a little more work that becomes the one you fixate on.
She'll love that. Yeah, that's probably what it is.
And I think people are smart, women and dudes, where like, I think a woman can be like, oh, this guy's feeling himself. Well, I'm not going to be like the other girls and like make it too easy on him. I'm going to make him hustle for it.
That's true.
And they know deep down we're so insecure, so that the moment someone rejects us, we're like, I knew this was coming. This is the truth. And then they've got his like putty in their hand.
Guys, I'm interrupting this podcast to let you know once again that the merch is still on sale, okay? Freshest items, limited time. Get on it because you want to get fired up. You want to let your whole family and friends know that you're stoked. Get some stoke gear at shop.chadandjt.com. We are also on tour. Super, super fun shows. I'm talking freaking, we got, Charlotte tonight, Bozeman Friday. We got Minneapolis coming up. We got New York coming up. We got Detroit coming up. We got Denver coming up. Get on those shows because tickets are going fast. Get your tickets at chadandjt.com. We're also brought to you by Legends at Marine Layer, my favorite clothing brand in the game. Softest t-shirts in the biz. If you want to freaking look cool as hell, but look comfortable, but feel comfortable as hell. Both things. Like, sometimes you got to choose whether you want to look cool or feel comfy. But with Marine Layer, you can both look cool and feel comfy and still look cool, which is huge. And I was a big fan of them before they even came on board. Like, I would always admire their store. I was like, damn, those pants are sick. Those shirts are sick. That's kind of the style I've always wanted to go for. And I want you to have that for yourself. Because it's a go-to brand for great fitting and stylish closet staples. They have the softest t-shirts in the game. It's a wardrobe that'll actually last. And they've got even sizes like Marge, which is in between medium and large. Damn, that's so smart. If you buy any 3 tees from Marine Layer, you automatically get 20% off. Get one for you, some for your friends and family. Boom, you've won the holidays. It goes beyond t-shirts. It got laid back over shirts, pants, jackets, all the cozy layers you want for the cooler season. And they're super soft, super sustainable. I think we can all admit that the perfect tee can be hard to find. Look no further than Marine Layer. For a limited time, get 15% off with the code GOINGDEEP15 at marinelayer.com. That's code GOINGDEEP15 for 15% off your entire order at marinelayer.com. Saving your closet one shirt at the time. All right, let's get back to the show.
That's the funniest thing about this business and life is that everybody, dude, everybody is insecure and fucking scared. Jay-Z said it best, man. Everybody is insecure and scared. Everybody's full of shit. Everybody wants to be loved. Everybody wants acceptance. You know, everybody wants to succeed, and everything else is just a front. You know.
Totally. No, man. I don't even take it because sometimes online people call me insecure. I don't even take that as an insult. I'm like, of course I'm insecure. Like to me, that's a given. For any human.
Yeah.
I'm like, and to me, if you're not insecure, you're probably not putting yourself out there.
Let me ask you something. How much hate mail are you getting? Like, how many comments?
not. I've been talking more lately, but not that many. Honestly, it's that thing where the people who are nice, I blow by, and then the people who are rude, I fixate. It's just that, because that's what needs correcting.
Oh, that's great.
I had that feeling today driving over because I was like, what am I doing? Like what are we doing?
Yeah, sure.
Like, you just like it feels. I'm like I should just fucking, you know, I should go be on like an oil rig or something. That's like something tangible. Right? You know what I mean?
Like I used to. But here's the thing, and that's funny that you said that. But here's the thing. It's like I used to fantasize like about being a mailman. Shit, just fantasize about just having like a mundane listen to tunes.
Yeah,
right.
It's a good gig.
You know, listen to tunes, drive to mailboxes, be done your route. You want to fucking blow your brains out after 2 days.
Right.
After 2 days of somebody yelling at you saying it wasn't on time, you didn't do, and you're like halfway up the block knowing that your whole day for hours is just in that little truck, cars going around you. That it's the grass isn't always greener. Dude.
No, totally.
We tell jokes for a living. We do podcasts. We make money doing it. It's the greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
I think it's just the fact that it is. What are we doing though? Like, you ever think about like podcasts and stuff?
Yeah.
It's actually the craziest thing that we all just sit on and it's fun. But but see, it's fun like this. Other times you're just going in like, all right, dude, so who do we got today? All right, we're doing, and it's just like, it's a little mundane.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's repetitive.
Or if you feel like you're not being yourself, and then you're like, well, what's the point of doing this if I'm going to pretend to be a version of myself that's not myself?
Right.
That weighs
That's
on
true.
me where I'm like, what am I doing, dude?
Yeah.
Like, if I have a voice to choose, it should be as close to me as possible.
But see, that means like that like made me learn about both of you more. It's like the fact that you're walking in going, what the fuck am I doing, dude? Right? It's just a normal, it's
very normal.
It's just a normal, honest feeling that I think anybody would have.
I think everyone has that with any job they do.
100%.
Yeah.
You walk into any, like whether you're a chef, a teacher, a mailman, you wake up and you're like, what am I doing? Is this it?
Yeah, like could you imagine, like, I was thinking about like selling cars, but even selling great cars.
That'd be fun.
Like if you, like I was thinking, like if let's say like you sold like Ferraris or something, right?
Yeah.
But after like a month of being like, lady, the engine, I mean, it's the best. This is what it is. This is what it has. This is the leather.
Yeah.
The 50th time you said that, you're gonna be like, dude, I can't. If I sell another Ferrari, I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, that's the thing about this. This is like, it's supposed scary, and then it's like the unknown is what makes it so much fun, where you don't get the boredom.
Though that, yeah, I heard a comic, Talent. You guys know Talent was one of the
I've
New
heard
York
Sam
Kings.
Talent?
No, his name was Talent.
Okay.
His name was Talent, but his real name is James Talent Harris, and he's they call him one of the New York Kings of comedy. He ran like the urban rooms and just a monster.
I never heard of him.
Just a monster, dude. And he said, so he's like, this is the one job. The thing about this job is, it's different every night.
Yeah.
Whether somebody drops a fork and you hear it, whether you do a new bit, whatever it is, it's just a new experience. It's a new feeling. It's new people. It's new fans. Nothing else gives you that. Like, I couldn't imagine. Like, could you imagine being a porn star and like getting to that?
Getting tired of
Dude,
fucking.
could you imagine being a porn star and being like, dude, I gotta go to work tomorrow. Dude, I can't believe, dude, I got like a 4-person. This is gonna be a nightmare.
Yeah.
like, could you imagine that? Like, that's, for me, that's hell.
Right.
That would be
Yeah.
hell.
Right.
You know, like,
If you're in like an anal gangbang and you're not digging it.
Dude, you're in an anal gangbang.
But you're not there, like you're there physically, but in your head, you're like just thinking about something else. You're
Yeah.
like, oh man, I think I'm gonna get pot roast after
Yeah,
this.
dude, imagine going to work knowing that you're just going to get ass fucked hardcore and you just like
Right.
aren't into it.
Yeah, it's not the day
Right.
for
Like,
it.
dude, I just
Yeah.
want to watch Netflix. Dude.
Yeah,
I mean, you'll see that. Like, I'll watch porn and I'll study it pretty good, and I'll be like, that girl's being pretty mechanical. Like, you know, and I think women more so than men need to be feeling it to be into it. Like,
Yeah.
dudes, we can, you know, once we get there, we're like, oh, this is the best thing ever. And then I think for women, like, I'll see them like screaming in the
Yeah.
video, and I'm like, oh man, she punched in, she punched out.
Yeah. Well, what's weird is I heard a porn star go, "Yeah, I'm just like boring at home."
Right.
Yeah, they're all missionary people at home.
And like, dude, if I'm the fucking boyfriend, dude, no.
Yeah.
No, dude.
Yeah.
No, dude.
'Cause you gotta
can't-
outdo whatever
dude, you
happened
can't
that day.
Do me like that,
Bro, of course.
I just saw you get. Yeah, I mean, dude, you can't do what I just saw you do and be like, I'm lazy tonight. I'm just gonna. It's like, nah.
Yeah, it's like you marry a chef and they only make PB&Js when they're home.
I remember. I remember this one porn star. She goes, "You're like crying." She was crying, and I feel bad, dude.
Yeah,
I
it's
do
a
feel bad.
bummer.
I'm being very.
You're
I'm
having
being very.
fun.
I'm trying to be very sensitive
sorry.
with what I'm gonna say. But like, she was like, I was gonna write a bit about this. She was like crying, and she's going, you know, this job, it's such the stigma. And she goes like, I would come home and my boyfriend didn't even want to kiss me right away. I'm like, yeah. You got the DNA of fucking 5 dudes on you. I'm not fucking go jump in a sauna for fucking 3
That
hours.
is tough, dude. That's tough, man.
Right? Like she was like crying, and I feel bad.
But it's
that
tough
she
for
was-
both of them.
I feel bad that she felt that, but it's like you got it. Like she like demonized him.
No, there's no demon in that
She was
situation.
like, she was like, he wouldn't even kiss her. Like she was almost looking at, can you believe that the guy that I loved and my boyfriend wouldn't kiss me? But it's like, you just did something that's like making him be like, all right, dude, like a shower, like something.
Yeah, that's the thing too. It's like I could see like Taylor Swift fans being upset by that, you know, because they're not because Taylor Swift did that, but because they're sensitive to like little things, like microaggressions like that.
Yeah, that annoys me.
No,
Doesn't it?
I'm with you because like the guy's not cheating on her. He's not berating her about what
Yeah.
she does. He's probably having dinner with her. He's like, hey, I don't want to give you a smooch. But I'm a sensitive person, so I can understand where she's coming from. Like, but that really hurts me because it feels like you're judging me. He's like, well, clearly I'm not judging you. I'm with you. I just don't want to kiss your face when there's jizz residue.
But I mean, at what point, like, I kind of am judging you. You just got slaughtered by, so you almost died. Like, you almost, like, what just happened to you was wild.
But you can't.
No, I know.
You can't date her
No.
and.
Right. I can't say, but like,
That's having it both ways, I think, is the thing.
I'm judging the kiss right when you get home. Like,
That's it. That's okay.
just
I think
give me
that's
that.
okay.
Just
Right.
give me that. Like, and I'd be honest, like, it would be very, very hard for me to do.
Yeah.
Like, it would be like, some dudes can do it, some dudes, but like the way that they're like so amazed by how hard it is to get like a date or how, like, when they say that, and it's kind of like, well, that's kind of a, you know.
We're moving towards a more puritanical viewpoint on sex for sure, too. I think religion's coming back that way. I think I can tell it with this Dylan Dennis, Logan Paul situation.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, people are like really going at her. It isn't, but but I'm not trying to be holier than that. Like, I don't think I could date a porn star. Maybe in my 20s I could have, but
And
now
I feel
couldn't.
bad. Like, I feel bad for any of them that are like, hey,
I feel bad even saying that out loud. Yeah.
No, but like I feel bad for even when they're like, hey, I just want to get a normal job afterwards, or I hate that that's out there about me. Like, I really do feel bad, and I think that the stigma that, you know, it shouldn't, because a lot of
Because
times
we do
it's-
beat off to them.
And not only that, it's safe that for apparently in their community, it's like a safe thing because it's just like 15, 20 something people having sex with the same people a lot.
Sure.
You know, and so like, so I don't want to sound judgmental that way. I'm just saying, like, with the other thing, like if I did do that and I knew my, you know, it would be funny if she's like, we going out tonight? You're just like, yeah, how was work? What happened? It's work was
to
it
play
girl on
devil-
girl or?
So who was there at the scene today? And she gets to like the 9th guy's name.
You act
and
like,
you're like
you just like want to know if your friends were there?
Yeah, you're like, oh, was it fun on set? Who was there today? And she's like, Mark and Rick and Tony and Bill and Kong. And you're like, okay.
Kong, dude.
Oh, how's Kong doing? She's like, he's good. Very vigorous today. You're like, oh, good. Yeah, I'm glad he's healthy.
Vigorous.
I'm glad he's healthy.
Yeah. No, when I said that annoys me, I said something about like, because I like some of Taylor Swift songs, right?
Sure.
So I said that, but then I said something on Twitter where I go, she's got to cool it in front of the mom. She's like saying, let's fucking go in front of Travis Kelce. And I was like, she should cut. And people are like, Paul, don't go. These Swifties are going to come. I'm like, all right, dude, come on, man. I said I like her music. I'm trying to take my daughter to her concert. But
she's got good
like,
music.
Dude, she's got like a cult on her side.
It's powerful.
Dude, she's a powerful dude.
She's in charge.
$3 billion tour.
Is it $3 billion?
I heard by the time it's all done, she's going next year. Wow. I'm gonna try taking my daughter to one of them next year.
Yeah, I want to go.
But I heard when it's all. I heard she will throw down 2.5 hours of like hit after. I heard it's awesome.
Yeah. And it's meticulous. Like each show is different. She gets the top lighting people. Like she spares no expense.
No, and I heard it's like billions. Like I mean,
it's her in fantasy football. They're keeping the country running. That's why it's good. Her and Kelce are together.
His thing went up. What did he?
400% on the jersey sales,
dude,
right?
400% on the jersey sales, and he got like 3 million more followers in like a week.
He really?
He got 3 million followers.
And the condiments, she was eating like ketchup with her chicken tenders, and ranch. Condiments went up.
Oh my, dude, that's fucking.
If you're getting condiments, that's MJ level, I think.
Dude, yeah, if you're getting ketchup just for stock to go up,
like, Heinz is like, dude, we got T-Swift.
There's a backlash coming though. People in like the NFL Instagram accounts are pissed. They're like, enough.
Yeah.
Leave me alone. Like I was really into it at first, but even a little bit of me is being like, all right. Like I'm starting to get cynical about it. I'm like, I don't know if I believe that they're really banging.
Yeah.
I don't think they have. Do you?
Nah.
They did do the walk of shame though.
What's that?
Like he left her apartment early morning.
Oh, he did?
Sunday morning, yeah.
Oh, they did. All right.
Yeah.
They've turned this into
I don't know if this will. I can't picture her banging though.
I think that's
honest.
fair. Yeah, totally.
It's tough for me.
I mean,
I kind of get that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can't picture her just all out, but unless it's just so nuts.
Right. Oh,
right?
wow.
Like, unless you can't picture it because she wants, but it's so nuts.
Yeah, that actually checks out. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It's either nah or like...
Or just straight animal.
Just like,
or calm.
Whoa. Whoa.
Travis Kelce, he's like, guys, whoa.
And he's been with a lot of women, I'm presuming. Yeah. So to knock his socks off, you got to surprise him. But I think, she's an artist.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. That's wild.
That's crazy. I was going to say this about, when you were dating, did you ever sleep with someone who was like super promiscuous?
I was a relationship guy a lot.
Okay.
So like, I don't know if there was ever like an incident in my, drinking crazy college days, but like, I'm sure 1 or 2 slipped through the cracks. I'm sure 1 or 2 slipped through, but nobody that I could be like, dude, Virzi got the whore. Like, I don't think so.
I was going to say though, in my experience, because those girls are like the nicest. Like they're kind of the most vulnerable. Like they, in terms of like, they want to connect really bad. Like they live their life a certain way. And they might catch flack for it if people hear about it, but like when you really get to know them, they're very pure of heart. Like you can trust them.
It's yes, yeah, they're very much so. But like, you ever think like, I said this on stage once, and like some people were horrified, and some people, and the people, the comics, and the Cellar. Have you done the Cellar?
No, never.
The Cellar's got the piano guy. So there's the piano guy who's just sitting there. So when a comic comes up, there's like music playing, and the piano guy actually sits to the side, and he's on there, and like he was loving it. But I was literally like, if somebody like goes all out after after the dick, like all out, like. That's not a great, like that's a red flag if they go hard at it.
Right.
I've had that before.
Right.
But like afterwards, you're like kind of like, whoa.
Yeah, like if you go, like if somebody, like not to be disrespectful, not judging at all, because it's all kind of awesome, but like if you just go right for the dick hard core, it's like, whoa, dude, like that like you're gonna meet my mother.
No,
now.
dude, it is crazy because it can scare you, but then the more you get to know that person, you're like, because there was one girl who went hard at it, and then I just was like, nah, man, you're crazy.
Right.
Like, what are you doing some of that stuff?
Yeah.
You don't even know me. I could have been anybody. And probably she's done that with a lot, I'm presuming a lot of people. But then we hung out a couple more times, and I was like, dude, you're super normal.
Yeah.
She just had this one thing about her that she was...
Well,
she was about it.
That was me. I would always get scared. I'd get scared. I'd back out. I'm like, I don't even know if I want to get into this.
There's like magic involved. Yeah.
And then afterwards, I would regret it. I'm like, man, I had like.
It scares you off a little bit.
Yeah, it's like I had gold and I.
Dude, this is hilarious, dude. Yeah. This guy goes like this to me. He goes, hey, dude, yeah, my girl. He's like, she just wants to keep sucking my dick, dude. And he goes, she just wants to, but she also told me she loves sucking dick, and that every guy she meets, she envisions her sucking dick. So he's like, dude, when she meets you, like she's gonna envision sucking your dick. And he's like, but just and dude, it was the weirdest way to get introduced. It was the weird
process.
Dude, then he met her. It was the weirdest way. He's like, no, dude, she'll probably like when she meets you, she'll be very nice. She's gonna probably picture sucking. And I'm like, yeah, dude, that I didn't need to like.
Wow.
Like, so now I'm like, hey, how you doing?
Yeah. Yeah. You're trying not to put too much on it.
That was the weirdest thing. I don't know if it was like an insecurity for him to say it. You know, maybe
trying to get out in front of it.
Yeah, like. Yeah, he's just like yeah, he's like, hey, dude, she loves sucking dick. She like everybody she meets, like he's like, I just know she.
He totally made that up.
And
his girlfriend's like, hey.
Yeah, it was the weirdest way to meet somebody, and I was just like, and you're going, is she thinking about sucking my and like your friend shouldn't say that.
Yeah. No. Oh, it was a buddy?
Yeah.
Wow. How serious were they?
What?
How serious were they?
They're married now.
They're married now with kids.
Unbelievable.
Wow. Yeah.
Dude, that dude's a soldier, man. Like, he's tough. That guy's tough.
Dude, that should be a scene in a movie. Like, right? Yeah, like, just like, hey, dude, just want you to know, like, she loves sucking dick. But everybody she meets, she pictures sucking a dick. She's probably going to meet you, picture sucking your dick. That was how I, like, went into the, you know how wild that is?
Yeah. Were you, like, a groomsman? Or you don't have to say that.
No, I wasn't a groomsman.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't a groomsman, nothing, but I just was... wait, I was at the wedding. Was I in it? I don't know if I was. I was at the wedding, and it was fine. But I think it was just him going, she's super cool. She's into it.
Right.
And like,
so he was bragging a little bit.
Yeah, but like he didn't need to say.
No, he probably didn't need to tell you that.
He didn't need to say anything. He's like, yeah, she just loves sucking dick.
Do you think
she told me anytime.
Do you think he was getting off on it?
I don't know. But he's like, she would tell me anytime if I wanted her to suck. Like, it was wild.
And then at the wedding, did you give a speech? You're like, I know you're just really good at sucking dick.
Heard nothing but good things about you, Linda.
Yeah.
Seemed like a cool chick.
You envision sucking his dad's dick.
Yeah. She's so cool. She envision sucking all your dick.
Your 14-year-old
even your father.
There's a grandfather in a wheelchair.
Yeah, he's like,
Grandpa Rick, he could get blown.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah. That's great.
Do you want to answer some questions?
Yeah, dude.
Sweet.
I'm down, man. I'm having fun, dude.
Yeah, it's been really cool.
Yeah. It's been great.
I hope you guys are. I'm literally.
Yeah, I'm having a blast.
Yeah, this is fun.
It's great.
All right, let's see.
When you were saying like the ways, it felt like a scene out of like Goodfellas or something.
What?
Like, she loves sucking dick. You know,
dude, that's the scene in a comedy.
Yeah.
Hey man, I just gotta tell you something, dude, about Carla. Okay. Yeah. She's great. Okay. She sucks my dick. Yeah. She loves sucking dick. Right? She sucks my dick. She loves sucking dick, but she told me she loves sucking everybody. She wouldn't suck anybody's dick. So just know when you meet her, she's probably gonna picture sucking your dick.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, all right, man. He's like, yeah, dude, it's all good. Like how?
Well, and then every preceding conversation, it's gonna be circling in your head.
Calamari.
How's the carbonara? Is that good? Yeah. How's the carbonara? Like Tony Soprano, he's like, she sucks dick.
She sucks everybody's dick.
You should know this about her.
Yeah, that's the thing. Hey, you should know this about her. And it's like, no, I shouldn't. I absolutely fucking shouldn't know.
Opposite.
It's your girl, dude. I should not know it. I wish you didn't know it.
Yeah.
I wish he didn't know it.
It's too much information for him.
She should have just sucked his dick and just left it at that.
Right, but girls like connecting on stuff. She's like, this is important. I've never been able to share this with anyone.
Yeah, like it's weird to tell somebody that you're dating that like I just love suck. It's weird to you never know if like it was like she was insecure about like sometimes people say things you never know, dude.
It's beautiful to some people to share all their thoughts, even the ones that might be uncomfortable. That's like the ideal.
But it could ever be opposite.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah.
This guy loves eating pussy. He's gonna think about
You're gonna
eating.
think about you eating a pussy. Just you're like, what? You know?
Yeah.
Anytime you want, you'll eat my pussy.
He'll eat your pussy. Yeah. He'll eat everyone's pussy here.
There's something
You know
you
what?
need to
They don't
know.
have to because they know that's true for every guy alive.
Yeah.
The look on the
Yeah.
person's face when they hear just the words, there's something you need to know.
Yeah.
And you're thinking,
There's something you
that's
need
the
to know.
last fucking thing you're thinking. They go back, it's a lineage. The mother loved sucking everybody.
She was a big dick
She
sucker.
said
She
they
learned it
all
from
suck
her.
dick. They all look at sucking.
It's like narration in the movie. They're introducing characters. Not this one. She just loves sucking dick.
Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
And this girl was a dick sucker.
Yeah, it's just like anyone's dick. Dude. She'll suck your dick. Everyone in the audience tonight, she's gonna suck your dick.
Oh, that's fucking hilarious, dude.
How's the calamari?
Yeah, you know she's thinking about doing it. You're like, there's the food. How's
Yeah.
calamari dick?
Oh, you're getting the swordfish. Yeah.
All right. 7 years ago, during my freshman year of college, I met the most amazing girl on the face of the earth. For a while, I considered her my best friend, but I quickly realized I was really in love with her. She's the last person I've been my true authentic self around, but due to some unfortunate circumstances, we ended up drifting apart after our freshman year. Now, 7 years later, I can honestly say that I'm still in love with her. I haven't seen her since then, and we now live in different parts of the country, so naturally, I don't think about her every day. However, whenever I do think about her, my heart skips a beat and my mind goes straight to thinking about how mad I am at myself for not maintaining any sort of relationship with her. I know that if I reached out, we could definitely rekindle our friendship, but I don't know if I could live with just that, knowing how I really feel about her. She's genuinely the smartest, sweetest, most down-to-earth, beautiful girl I've ever met, and I don't see myself ever falling out of love with her. Any input would be greatly appreciated, and thank you for always raising my stoke when I need it most.
It's a great thought out question. So I take it that 7 years after their freshman year.
Yeah.
So that means they're 3 years removed from college.
25.
Okay, and she's single?
He doesn't know. I think he's out of he might be able to check on social media, but it sounds like they don't stay in touch.
Well, the first thing I think I would do if I was him was the first move is to find out if there's any kind of relationship or family. Which, if they're 3 years out of college, my guess is there's no family.
You might be all right, but the clock's ticking.
You know, but she could be dating somebody. Dude sounds like he really likes her, and the fact that he said all those things, heart skipping a beat, you know, the fact that he doesn't think he'll ever be in love with anybody else like that. I think you just go for, like, I'm one of those, dude. You just got to go for it. You just got to tell her. He literally, like, the things he said in that, if he can, like, put that to a thing with her and just tell her, because once she knows that, then it's kind of the ball's in her court, and she'll realize that there's a guy out there that actually, like, feels like that for her, you know? So
I love that. I agree. He's got to go for it.
you just got to go for, I mean, unless he's, but here's the other thing. If he's if he's not, like, been, like, there's no reason why they broke up.
They never were together. They were just friends.
Oh, I thought in freshman they just kind of met and hung out.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't think they have any romantic history.
What's his name?
And they drifted apart after their freshman year. I think he wants to be anonymous. My thing is this, it's like, you might, I believe you're really in love with this person, but it's been 7 years. They might be a different person than they were 7 years ago. And, like, yeah, maybe he's just in love with her. I guess there's a cynical part of me that's like, there feels like there should have been more life in between that he mentioned.
Right. But there's something weird about how he's like, she's the most beautiful down to earth. So if she's the most beautiful down to earth, does that mean he's going by when they met in ninth grade? I mean, in freshman year?
That's what I mean.
Or is he like, no, I've kind of, in college, like, did they like cross paths at a party?
No, they haven't seen each other since.
Since freshman.
Since freshman year, they haven't seen each other since.
I think one of two things could happen. I think he should go for it, and then either they rekindle something, or he actually talks to her and it breaks the spell.
That's
that
what
when
I'm thinking could happen. But I agree with you. You got to find out.
Yeah.
But I guess there's not like a little bit of a pessimism where I'm like, well, you don't know what.
What she's like now.
Yeah, and you don't know who you are really in relation to her now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like, I don't know, like, do they live in, like, is this something where he just writes and is like, hey man, I'd love to just, you know, I was thinking about you. Do you want to go grab something to drink or something, you know?
Yeah.
Like, if she's in, like, you know, Florida and he's in,
They live in different parts of the country.
yeah, That's wild.
I guess part of my advice is like, dude, maybe try dating someone else, because it sounds like he hasn't, but I also don't have context, so he might have.
This is either
It's very romantic.
Yeah, this is either a dude that has been like, doesn't have a lot of experience and has kind of been fixated on her.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
Or a dude that was like, after that, he dated some people and was like, man, I should have went after that girl.
If it's the second one, then absolutely go for it.
Right. If it's the second one, then you got to go for it. If it's the first one, it could be a little.
You could be stuck in time a bit, and maybe you need to try meeting some other people as well.
Yeah, 7 years is a little bit of is time for like to not have any kind of.
From 18
Right?
to 25, yeah, that's kind of like.
Because like adulthood, like I was a different person from 22 to 24. Like once I got to 24, my mom is like, I remember my mom going, "Oh, you're like I just was like buckled down, like really kind of get my shit together." So he was
Right.
like 18. So that's a little.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think because he could get like if he's not that experienced and he's like just fixated on her and he's messaging her, he could just get like sucked into like living and dying by her messages and like not really
Yeah.
getting out into the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I hope it's the other one, but I don't know. It seems kind of wild.
Are you ready for another question that's almost exactly the same?
Yeah. I like him.
Chad and JT, and perhaps an esteemed guest. What up? Big fan of the pod, one love. I'm in a bit of a pickle. How do you feel about reconnecting with a girlfriend of the past? I have an ex that I haven't talked to for about 5 years. I broke up with her in college, and it was a bit messy because she didn't handle it well. I've had a few long-term relationships since, but my heart keeps going back to this girl as my first love lost on a young heart. She moved back to Encinitas, probably the greatest city in the country. In San
SoCal?
Diego. Yeah.
San Diego.
Not too long ago, and I'm not sure the best way to reconnect with her, if I should reach out at all. I did some stalking recently, and she's become a great version of herself, and I would hate to change that trajectory for selfish gain. Should I reach out to her, or should I leave her to pursue happiness without me? Any advice would be greatly appreciated. Big thanks.
Wow, it sounds like a bunch of people are out there like kind of going to the past, regrets.
Yeah, it's in the air right now.
Grass
Yeah.
isn't always greener, man.
No.
Grass isn't always greener, like especially if somebody was cool.
But dude, I went back and dated someone after we had like 5 years off, and we had a strong connection, but we quickly returned to the problems that led to our initial breakup. We didn't stand the test of time the second time.
Now, when you say problems, like you mean like social stuff, political stuff, like
Just the
personality stuff?
same fights we had. We both thought we had changed totally, and then there was something about when we were together that we reverted back to our original selves that we were.
Okay. Wow.
So I was
Yeah.
like- and I in my head I was like, my dad was like very romantic about it. Like I was like, Dad, do you think like what do you think about it? My dad's like, I think you fucked up. I
Really?
think you let a good one get away.
Oh, really?
And then like a year later, I was like, Dad, what should I do? He's like, you got to break up with her. And I'm honestly, I will say this to both these guys. I'm glad I found out, and I have a lot of love for that person. But we were not a good. Sometimes when you break up, it's for a reason. You know, but then also couples get back together and make it work. There's no one way, I guess.
Yeah, you hear stories of people getting divorced to the same person, like, and then married again to the same person.
I love that.
and you're going,
I love the
whoa, like,
tenacity.
you really, yeah, that's just like, I'm all in, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm all in. I don't know, man. I would say both of those guys, a lot of time went by, but for me, man, it's like nobody's getting any younger. You know, things go by fast. Look, 7 years probably felt like that to that guy. 5 years probably. I would just tell the girl. I would. You get to a point where you're just like, look, you know, I'm out here I'm dating, and like, if you say to a woman, I'm out here dating and nobody was as cool as you. I'm out here dating and nobody made me feel like you. And I'm realizing that we should have done it more, and I'd love to go out more. If you're not with anybody and you're willing to go and have a drink and talk, then I'm down. If not, I totally get it, but I just wanted to throw it out there because that's how cool I thought you were. And then once the ball is in her court like that, then you win. Then here's the thing, then you win. Because then you're like, fuck you, bitch. You didn't. No.
No, but I get that. You were honest. You were an honest broker. You told someone exactly how you felt, and you weren't being a trick. You weren't being like playing a game. You're just like, this is it.
Because when you put it like that, and you really said, like, think about what you just said to a woman, man. You know, you just said to a woman, like, dude, I said you're the coolest, and like this and that, and I thought we had something, and I just don't want to ruin something if something else could be kind of, if we could gain something that we missed the first time. Let's go grab a drink, or like, let's just grab a drink and talk. Or how about this? How about you even go slower? Hey, I'm dating all these people, and like, no one's as cool as you. You want to just go grab a drink and talk, like, just kind of keep it like that. And then on that date, after a couple, you kind of go a little. Then you start throwing fastballs.
You're romantic.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's what I would do. You know, you get her with some junk at first, right? A couple breaking balls,
Some off-speed
couple
shit.
balls that drop down to the ground. You know, then you get her. You guys are yeah. You know, you just come out, you start doing this to the ball. You look, you know, you want a couple strikes.
Yeah.
But then you both have a couple glasses of wine. Then you just start fucking ripping 99 to 100.
Yeah.
Right down Broadway.
She's like, what the hell,
what I mean?
dude? Where's this smoke coming
she's
from?
just like, this guy's got junk, and now he's going for the kill.
And like right after each strike, you're just calling for the ball back. You're like, give it back to me. I'm ready to
Next,
fire off
I'm
again.
striking out the
yeah,
side.
just keep it coming. I don't even need time. I'm just dialed.
But one thing I do know about women, my little brother's an animal. Well, he's married now and has my little brother's son is going to be born within a week.
Oh,
right? Yeah,
congrats.
he's out in Sandpoint, Idaho. Right? He just during pandemic he went rogue, dude.
Where was he before?
He was in New York.
Okay.
And he was just like, I got nothing going on here. He just went rogue. He was like, you know, he got fed up with masks.
Yeah.
And he was like, dude, I'm going to Idaho, dude. I'm gonna work at a winery. he just threw his hands up. He's like, I can't do it anymore. But he would be the type, dude, we would be out and he'd be like, hold up a second. And I saw that. I swear to God, it was one of the most incredible things I ever saw. He just saw this chick get up and start walking out the restaurant. And he just goes up to her and goes, excuse me, I'm sorry. And we'd watch him run up. Dude, this kid would be like, hey, there is no way in hell I could see somebody like you and let you walk out without saying that we have to go on a date. You are absolutely beautiful, and I would love to take you out. And dude, this one girl like had a boyfriend, and she was so taken back. She's like, yeah, I'll do it. Like, dude, he was an animal, dude.
Yeah.
He would just go up and be like, no, hold on a second, I can't let this happen.
Right.
It was almost like, and like he would just tell him. But the thing is, that girl's gonna go home, that woman's gonna go home, whatever, and she's gonna go like, oh my God, like this dude was straight up with me and said some really romantic, cool shit. I kind of have to see.
Right.
You made an impact. They're ggoing to remember how they felt in that moment.
Now,
That's
look,
going to stick with them.
If you're married, you're in a serious relationship,
Yeah, sure.
obviously you could be like, hey, I really appreciate
You
that. I
gave that
love the
up.
honesty. But if she's not, or if she's just dating somebody and a guy comes out, like, you know, he's a good looking kid, you know, and it's just like, wow, he's got the balls for that.
Yeah.
You know, I love shit like that.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Because what do you have to lose, you know? Because now they're thinking like, I don't know if I'm going to come up with get another straight up dude like that.
When there's a charge to you, you're like, oh my God, this guy lives his life romantically. Like he just goes for it. You want to be a part of that. You want to be close to that.
Yeah, no, he was, now granted, he was like a few brews in. You know, he would.
No, he was coked up and he was.
Yeah.
The way he said it fired me up. I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I'm in.
I also think you can like
even as the boyfriend, I'm like, go for it, honey.
Yeah. Babe, you can't let this.
Babe, I've been losing steam for a while. This guy's going to set your life on fire.
Yeah.
I've been losing steam. Yeah. No, I think that a woman, like when she hears things like that, not only will she think about, she's going to be like, she's probably, what are the chances or percentages that she's heard that before? And I almost think if we put in our heads, I know this sounds nuts, but I believe in like, it's going to sound crazy, but like, I believe in like, you can manifest things. I really believe in that. So like, if you actually tell yourself like, dude, I'm good without her now because I laid it on the table, and like you come to peace with you doing that, I feel like something, like almost like with my wife, when I really came to peace that weekend and I was like, if I don't hear from her for this weekend, I'm done. And my older brother was great. He goes, Paul, he goes, dude, he goes, it's you. He goes, it's her loss. And I was like, yeah, you know? And all of a sudden, I actually put that on myself, like, yeah, I'm going to find another girl, go out, have a good time. And then all of a sudden, I get a thing and she says, like, I miss you. Because I think I don't know, if some weird way she felt that. But I was like done.
When you got the I miss you text,
Yeah.
did you jump in the air and do a fist pump?
No, I smiled and I told my brother, I go, hey, dude, guess what? Like, it was almost like, there it is, you know? It was
Right.
like, it came in, you know?
The universe gave this back to me.
It came into dock. The boat came into dock a little late, but it came in tonight. Because if
Yeah.
it didn't come in tonight, it wasn't coming. But then I
Right.
saw the horn. I heard the horn and I saw the lights coming. And I'm like, you know, it came home. And I felt like that. But I almost in my head in a weird way, I freed myself that night. I freed myself that weekend. And then once I was free, that happened. And I think there's something to that.
Yeah.
So I think if these guys, the 7-year guy, the 5-year guy, just go, hey, man, I miss you, I want to hang. Like, the worst that happens is she's like, you know, but I'm also a nut who believes it was meant. I believe, what are the chances? Think about my wife. What are the chances of this? Her and her best friend in junior high school go to different junior highs go to different high schools. I go to the one with her best friend and that's the girl I dated through my high school years.
Yeah.
All of them, like a high school, and heard about this one. Then that's done. I'm a busboy at Applebee's, and I'm start dating the manager at Applebee's, and she is the best friend in the high school of that girl. So she was the best friend of 2 women that I was associated with in my life. How wild is that?
It's
crazy.
Right? And she just came, and then I moved to Queens. She moves to Jersey City, which is right there, a 12-minute path train. She just kept coming in my life. So for me, you know, and this whole thing goes full circle. I believe in there's something. And when I see my wife with my children and I see all that shit, I'm like, there's no way. My wife is strong, organized. Like, I'm different. We're so different that's why it works. I'm like, yeah, you want to, like, I'm literally like, you want to fly to the Bahamas tomorrow? And she's like, what? Tomorrow we did? She's planning the shit for, you know, that's me. Like,
You're spontaneous.
I'm spontaneous. I'm like, I pay, I don't care about money. Oh, dude, the more you guys know, like, I'm sure Aaron's heard stories from like Bartnick and Burr and stuff. I pay. I don't give a fuck. Best bottle. First class. I don't give a fuck if I can afford it. I don't give a fuck if I can afford it.
Yeah.
First class. I'm getting to bed. I'm not flying.
You have an
pussy.
abundant mindset.
I'm not flying unless I'm getting to bed. I'm 6 hours. I'm not doing it. And if my wife was like, you can't really afford it, I'd be like, we'll make it work. I'm just not gonna. It's just what.
Well, do you stress out then after the fact?
No. I'm not. It's. There's certain things I don't compromise. I don't compromise flights. I don't compromise lodging. Okay. I don't. I like amenities.
You want a vacation, right?
Yeah, I like amenities. And my wife is more like, well, we don't need to spend. Do we need to? She's not cheap, but she's just not me. So she's trying to equal it out. But it's like, nah, we're gonna.
It's a great way to live. I love that.
Right?
Yeah.
Like-
It's abundant. You're abundant.
Yeah. It's like, well, are we nuts? What are we, cheap?
Right.
Right? Listen, and if you don't have money and you literally can't afford something, then I understand but you still try to get the best that you could get. Where my wife is funny because she's not cheap, but she loves a deal. My wife loves a deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, like after Valentine's Day, the chocolate goes to 75% off. She goes wild. She goes fucking wild.
Right.
Oh yeah, it goes wild. I mean, I got bags of shit.
Yeah.
That are months old, and she goes wild. She's like, it's 75% off all the cake, you know, all the chocolate she loves, you know, like ornaments and shit when they go on sale. She goes wild, and I'm like, let's just get it the week before and spend the extra, you know. But I think that's what makes us work, because my habits drive her wild, and hers make me just go, we don't need to. And we've gotten into
You're the gas and she's the brake.
Yes, that's probably perfect. I'm the what are we worried about?
Yeah,
You know what I
let's
mean?
just go. Let's go.
And I think having trauma young, I think, you know, having horrible things happen. I've had some really awful things, man. People die, people horrible. And when I said this the other day, and I don't mean to get too heavy. If you don't,
No, go.
If you
I
don't.
really appreciate it.
Oh yeah. I mean, if it's cool, I don't want to fuck
Totally.
it. But and I'm sure you guys heard about this, but and I've said this on multiple podcasts, but I just want to say it to let people know how great he was. David Kimowitz of The Stand, he was brutally taken away. He was one of the owners of The Stand, and 2 beautiful young girls and wife and everything, and there was a violent act with the nanny's boyfriend, and his life was taken. And like it was so. It was one of the losses that I felt that really made me sick, to like literally, like I couldn't, it was really tough. And I just looked at life and I'm going, and I mean, you want to talk, like, if I come across as happy and positive, this dude, You know, this dude makes me look like not that. Like, this dude was smile, happy, managed comedians, own a comedy club, 2 beautiful little girls, a wife, like just the best. Always like wanted to go to his vacation house and like just loved life and loved comedy, loved edgy comedy, loved it all. And for it to go like that, and I was just like, you know what, man, like that's. I can't live, you can't live any other way. You can't hesitate, and you can't, you know, you just got to be happy to the fullest when you see things like that.
Yeah.
And that was the one that really fucked me up, man. And we all were telling like eulogies at the stand, and comics were randomly just walking up. Nobody was assigned anything. It was just this big thing, and comics would just go up. And I just went up, and I was just like, dude, this fucked me up. And I just said those things. And so that, I think that happening along with stuff when I was younger made me go like, what matters?
Mm-hmm.
What matters, man? Like, you know, it's like we were talking before we got in here about, you know, anything that you go through with your family. It's like, all that matters is your family. All that matters is the important shit. And that's what I look at. So,
well, yeah, and then there's the here and now. And then you can try and plan for other stuff, but you don't know what's coming around the corner at any time. So
no.
Get it while it's good.
Yeah, and that goes along with the advice to those guys. Like, well, you know, who gives a shit? Just go. It's like, yeah, it's like, you know, and then if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But at least it's like nothing. I couldn't imagine anything worse than not doing something you really want to do because of fear, and then later realizing that the fear was manifested in your head and it was anxiety that didn't, you know. Because I was talking to a buddy about this. Anxiety is it's not real. So all the anxiety that you get and angst, and I have anxiety. I don't know if you guys do. Yeah, I have anxiety. I have like OCD, depression, and all that shit. And anxiety is just, it's not real.
Mm-hmm.
But it's real to you because you're manifesting something in your mind. You're making this thing, but it's not real.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're going, oh, this is not, what if this happens? And all of a sudden this like rush of fear hits you, but it's like a barrier that you created.
Yeah.
You know? And it's tough.
And I think it's so beneficial to think about the fact that we do die. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's like what you're saying when you sort of live for the future, where you're like, oh, well, someday I'll be able to, you know, stay at the Four Seasons or something like that. You know, it's like, well, why don't you choose to do it now?
Yeah.
And because we will die, you don't take anything with you. You know, it's like, what are you saving up for? Unless it's like retirement or whatever, but like, but like,
I know what you're saying.
But like, you know, because I do that all the time. I'll be like, oh, we should just have like chicken nuggets tonight, because, you know.
I mean, nuggets are awesome. But.
Nuggets are awesome, yeah. But I'm just like, you know, as opposed to like going, you know what I mean? And I need to catch myself on those things sometimes, because it's like remembering that you die it just puts you in the present.
It's. Like, look, like what you do, what you two, like what you guys did, like the shit you guys accomplished. You ever sit back and realize how fucking dope that is, and how hard it is, and how unbelievable of a success story that is? It's like, you ever think about that? It's like you guys sit there and you put together a series and you do something, and it gets sold to the biggest streaming, and like you guys did that. You made that shit happen. So it's like, if you can do that, like, you know, you fuck nuggets, dude.
Right. No, that's a good point. Yeah, because I feel like in this business it's so. You can have
take that victory, man. Take that W, because we get so many L's.
Yeah.
You get so many L's that when you get the dub, man, you gotta, you know, run the bases the right way.
Because I think when it came out, it's like you have an idea of what it'll be like in your head, and the idea is never the way it actually happens. So you're sort of this. I don't know. This. You have this thing where it comes out, and you're sort of like, oh fuck, it's not happening the way I thought it would happen. And you ruin the experience because of your mind creating an idea of how you think life or the world should be, and you can't control that. No. You just need to enjoy the ride.
If you listen to our 3 podcasts we did immediately after the show came out, you would have thought everyone we loved had just died.
But that's like, it's amazing that we do that to ourselves.
Yeah.
Because it's amazing how you get something and it happens and it's great, and then there's like but it's, unfortunately, I think it's like an artist thing, and it's like a creative person thing, and I also think it's like this weird like self-worth thing. Yeah. Where you feel like it's like something has to be wrong. Right? Like, can you just enjoy it? And I go through it too. Like I said to my wife the other day, I was just like, yeah, like I got to do this. And I just started to feel like a burden and anxiety. And my wife just goes, Paul, she's like, you're putting barriers in front of yourself that just don't exist. You know, like, you know, the other night I was just like going through something. I'm traveling away from my family for 13 days. And I had to do a spot. I did a spot in the main room at the Improv. And I'm just like going through stuff in my mind, and then all of a sudden I get called on stage, and I just have this monster set where I just crushed this room, like crushed it. And I'm like, oh, that's what I'm doing, giving people joy, and I feel good. But then in your mind afterwards, you're like, oh, now the next, but then I got to run over here and do this, and then I got to drive, and I'm not going to see my family for 6 more days. And we always have this thing to find, instead of just being like, just take the, you know. Take the W,
right?
Yeah,
you know, like you guys got. Why do you think that was? That you guys got sad after it came out because you didn't like something about it?
I think we expected.
If you don't mind me asking.
We expected our lives to change drastically. We expected like the. I think we expected like the Tiger King effect, where it's like comes out and everyone's like, holy fuck, you know?
Yeah.
Just because, and for me, this is something I do is like I place value in it to the point where I'm like, well, if this doesn't do well, then the rest of my life is just fucked.
Yeah.
Right.
Which I don't do that anymore, but at that, because I learned from that experience, but like at that moment I was like, if this doesn't go well, I might just die. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Like that's what I was thinking. I was like, if this doesn't go well, I'm fucking.
Dude, I'm such a lunatic in my head. I'm like, that's smart.
Yeah.
No, I know what that is. Like when my Netflix special came out, all the numbers were good.
Yeah.
But then when they compared it to people that had, so the numbers were good. They're like, wow, out of the gate, man, like you're doing really good. But then you compare it to somebody who's got a podcast with 1 million people. Yeah. And you're like, okay, so it's not as good as that. And then all of a sudden you feel like shit. Yeah. But it's like, I can't look at it like that because I knew I didn't have 1 million followers going in.
Right.
But that's what you harp on, because then you're like, oh, well, they saw that. But like for somebody with my following, and for somebody, and you know, my favorite thing, I've said this before and I'll say it again, and it means the most to me. Netflix said no to my special before they saw it. They just go, hey, we love Paul, but you know, there's a lot of competition and it's hard right now. And it was kind of like this Hollywood no. Then they screened it. Netflix screened it, and after they screened it, they go, oh, this we got to make something happen here. Let's try to figure this out.
That must have felt so fucking good.
They were like, this belongs here.
Right.
So let's try to figure it out. And that was like, that meant so much. But then you go to the thing where you're like, all right, well, who's okay? Like, you know, who you know, Whitney Cummings, and then Santino, and then Tim Dillon, and I'm like, well, I don't have that following. I mean, I've been doing stand up longer, but I don't have that following. So then that makes you. But I'm like, no, why would I do that to myself? Because I knew that the numbers for where I was at were great, and they took it based on my stand up, and that means more than anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it would be shitty if it was. What if it was a shitty special? But I had 19 million followers and they took it.
Right.
Because then what's that?
There's the own self-doubt that comes from that.
Then I would be like, oh, dude, they didn't want my material. They didn't want my 20 years of work.
They just want to be in business with me because I'll push some eyeballs on it.
Yeah.
Dude, it's crazy. And it's like, as you progress, the people you compare yourself to changes too. So we talked about this on last week's episode. Like, you just find a way to be sad no matter what. Like, I'll always find a way.
I'm just trying to the way to be sad, like to not be sad, I think is it goes back to what we're saying. Be with the people that you love to be with, man.
Yeah.
That's
dude,
it.
And I saw Coldplay last weekend. Have you ever seen that?
Oh, yeah, I saw it on your story.
Best show.
They're fucking good live, man.
Have you seen them live?
I saw them like 15 years ago live, and they were fucking amazing.
Did they crush?
Amazing.
Chris Martin brings it, huh?
And you know what? I think 40-Year-Old Virgin did them a huge disservice with their joke.
Yeah, the great comment.
Because ever since I saw 40-Year-Old Virgin, I'm like, it's not cool to like Coldplay. And my girlfriend loves Coldplay, so I'm like, well, she really wanted to go, so I'm like, let's go see Coldplay. And I was going into it, I was like, yeah, it's Coldplay, like, you know, there. And I go, and I was like, and what was so inspiring about the show is it's like all positive energy, where you can tell he's just having a blast. He wants to put on like the best show ever.
Good performer.
Yeah, and it's like, and I left so inspired by that, where I was like, yeah, just enjoy the ride. You know, it's what's the point in catastrophizing everything when it's just like, it's just positivity.
Dude, there's no losing. It's just right. There's no losing. It's just learning.
Yeah.
You know. So it's like you know, if your series that came out was one of the worst series in Netflix history, you'd still be like you have it under your belt, and then you're going to do another one, and you're just going to figure out a way to make another one. Like,
oh, totally.
You know what I mean?
No, the bigger the failure, the bigger the comeback. No, I don't consider it a failure like that.
Oh,
but
no,
like,
yeah.
But like I like that. I want to fail big. I want to succeed big. I want it all to be dramatic. Like when I read history books about like Teddy Roosevelt or someone, it's not all wins. You know what I mean? He took some monster L's.
Yeah.
But what made him is if he thought about it, he thought about it, but he just kept going.
It's just no coincidence why every book and every like motivational, special, successful person all says, you know, don't quit. You know?
That's it.
I know some people don't like that because Trump said it, but it's true. Trump came out hard with it too. He's like the one thing, but like then you'll hear Mike Tyson say it. So you know it's it'll offset. But the truth is,
the fact that it comes from so many different mouthpieces probably speaks to its validity. That it is the one thing we can all agree on. Don't quit.
The thing you said too about death, isn't it crazy? Elon Musk, he said something and it was kind of wild. Where he's just like, he's like, no, he's like, I kind of embrace death. It's kind of going to be a relief. When he said that shit, I was like, oh, he said that recently. Yeah. Because they were like, are you afraid to die? And he was like, no. He's like, I look at it as a relief.
Yeah, because when he was on Rogan, he said it's a burden to have so many thoughts. He's like, it weighs very heavy on me.
Dude, if you can figure out a way to get to Mars, dude, think about what you're thinking about when you're alone in the shower.
Yeah.
I'm reading his biography right now.
It's not How's the Calamari.
Calamari.
Yo, Elon. And when you walk in the room, she's gonna think about sucking your dick. He's gonna think about sucking. He wouldn't even know what to do.
He's just looking.
He would be like trying to like figure out a math equation to figure out why.
Yeah, he's
gonna get my dick sucked in Mars.
Oh shit, that'd be a great question to ask Elon. Yeah. Elon, are we gonna be able to like hook up there and have sex? Or it's like, what was the movie with Schwarzenegger, Total Recall?
Yeah,
like it wasn't it in a dome? It wasn't in a. Was it a glass?
I haven't seen the original.
What Mars looked like up there?
Now, Aaron, do you remember that, Aaron?
Yeah, it's in a dome.
It's in a dome, right?
Yeah.
Were they boned?
Dude, it's so funny. When you say, you know what pops in my head whenever you say Total Recall, right?
What? No.
Is the 3 boobs. Like say, I can't think of anything else besides the 3 boobs.
You know, what would you do if a chick just took her shirt off and had 3, but not, like I'm talking like 3 nice cans,
bro?
Oh, that'd be awesome.
I'd freak out.
Moment,
yeah,
but then I'd bomb in.
Would you see? I'd be freaked out, dude.
Yeah,
I would be like those. That's not. I would freak me the fuck out.
Well,
dude.
would you want her to judge you if you dropped trout and you had 2 cocks?
Yeah, I'd be like, you're right. That's fucking incredibly gross and weird, and I don't know why I have it.
That'd be kind of sick though if you could bone while simultaneously cranking.
If you had 2 dicks and 4 balls, that would be the most.
The balls are tougher than the 2 dicks. 4 balls is way too many balls.
What would you rather? They're parallel or on top of each other?
I would
sideways. I want it.
See,
like 12 and 6.
Long,
I know. I want my cock coming off
dude,
like my rib cage here, and then I want my cock where my cock is.
Dude, if you just had 4 balls though dangling like that.
Yeah, 2 balls right here.
It's
like a pair of keys or something.
I think I would like this with
Stacked.
the 2.
Well, I think because here's the thing: if they're side by side, that might make it harder.
Like a re-rack with 2 cups.
If they're side by side, it'd make it harder to fuck. You know?
That's what I'm saying.
Because
I want enough space to fuck.
Yeah, but if they're on top of each other, you could get one. Although they'd have to be spaced well.
If you got one like where a tramp stamp goes on your back,
yeah, and
then you could drill this way and on your back. Wow, you could be drilling another broad.
You could have that one. She's like, I really want to suck a guy's dick. His dick is on his back.
You could be in the middle, like doing. You could be all Eiffel, no tower.
Dude, wow. That's amazing.
Or all tower, no Eiffel. That's pretty sick.
Dude, that's fucking great, man.
Right.
It's funny, dude.
Yeah.
So great. When does this come out, by the way?
I think 2. We're doing a live one tomorrow and then next week. I think next week.
Yeah. It was so fun talking to you, man.
Oh, so great.
Yeah, dude, such a pleasure, man.
Oh, dude, this is so fun. No, great hanging. You guys come to New York, man. Hit me up.
Yeah.
Dude, we will,
Hit
man.
me up, man.
November 7th.
Yeah, dude.
You'll be there.
You'll be there November 7th. Yeah, I'm doing something there November. So you guys just in and out, or you'll be there for a while?
I think
Couple days?
definitely a few days. My girlfriend comes to New York, so we stay for a bit.
Oh, okay,
I'm
cool.
going for a couple days. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, so
We'll
we'll
be
meet
up
up
there.
at the stand, or like I'm sure I'll run into you someplace. And if you guys want to come into the studio in Midtown and do the Virzi Effect,
Yeah.
Love to.
you guys would be the first 2 guesters I've had like in
Oh,
one time,
nice.
because I only go one-on-one. So,
Oh, nice.
Hell
it's,
yeah.
But yeah, I got some shows coming up if I could plug them.
Oh, please, man.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, so I'll be. You said next week, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Hartford Funny Bone in Hartford, Connecticut, October 13th. I'll be at the Philadelphia Helium Comedy Club the 20th and 21st. November 2nd, I will be at the Albany Funny Bone. And we just made a big announcement, which I'm super excited about. I'm going to be headlining the Gramercy Theater New Year's Eve, New York City, 8
gonna be
o'clock.
wild.
Yeah,
That's
dude.
awesome.
It's the first time I'm ever doing, because usually on New Year's Eve, I stay home.
Sure.
Stay home, hang with the family, watch some live performances, the ball drop, call it a night. This time I will be Gramercy Theater, 8 o'clock, New Year's Eve, New York City. Cannot wait for that. Tickets are on sale. More dates are coming. You can check paulvirzi.com. Check out my podcast. I do a Bone to Pick podcast with Bobby Kelly, which is crushing right now. Me and Burr are doing the Anything Better podcast here at the All Things Comedy Network, along with the Virzi Effect. And and check out my special on Netflix called Nocturnal Admissions. It's streaming right now. Thank you for having me.
Oh,
Dude,
thank you, man. It was
thanks for
really a
doing
pleasure. It was super awesome.
That was
Yeah, that's
awesome.
great.
Thanks,
Yeah,
guys.
thank you.
Yeah.
If you need advice, these guys are real.